Hello everybody, welcome back to another Conversations with Projektor. Today we start with the topic, I kinda hate editing. Before I go, you can contribute topics for this series on my Discord server.
Projektor reception can be quite trippy. I do understand, yeah. Imagine how it is for me that I have to do this every day, listen to myself, listen to how I speak. All of the annoyances that I have with my own voice and stuff like that. I actually say every day, but it has been like 4 days since I last had to edit something. To be honest, the millisecond it makes financial sense for me to have somebody else do the editing for me, the millisecond that it makes financial sense to do that, I will do it. Because I don't like this. This is not fun work to do. It is just stuff that has to be done. I am very skeptical if it will ever happen though. Both because I don't know that this YouTube channel can grow to a point where I make enough money to outsource part of the work. Because that's just expensive. Like an edit like this where somebody is spending a few hours on an edit, I assume that you would pay several $100 for that.
How to learn sound design.
What is your best tip for be better at self-learn sound design? Do it. Do more sound design. What I used to do back when I started the YouTube channel is for a month I did follow one tutorial and then instead of just saying, okay, he is setting this frequency, right? If you open a plugin, okay, he's setting this frequency to 155 or he's setting the release to 155, he's setting the attack to 20, he is setting the ratio to maybe like around 4, he's setting the threshold to this level. I would try to rationalize with myself why those decisions were made. Why not minus 18? Why not minus 11? What is the reason that he sets the setting the way that he sets it? And what does that do for the sound? And you can just write that down. If you have like a notebook like I have over here, one of these big things here where you can just write down a lot of text. You can write down, okay, I made this sound, I follow this tutorial, this setting is set to this point because it does this. This setting is set to that point because it does that.
I am lost. To be fair, it's because of the lack of recent production.
Yeah, just doing it, just training yourself every day. And I did that for a month. Every day I would follow one tutorial, make one sound, and not so much focus on just following the tutorial, but focusing on trying to extract as much information from it as possible and really trying to study that. For anybody who has done university, they will know like how you would study, especially recently. Ever since COVID, I think a lot of people will know because a lot of lessons have gotten to video format, right? In that they were distance learning and that kind of stuff. And you would either have a Zoom meeting or you would be sent a video of the lecture. When you're studying with those things, it can be really hard to become complacent and say, oh, I can just watch the video and learn that way. You don't really learn that way. The way that you learn is through, as I said, writing things down in a notebook like this, because writing actually puts it in your memory. So if you're just sitting here, YouTube video to the side, and you're just moving buttons to match the settings that he has in the video and doing like this, and this, you don't learn anything, right? You have to write down exactly, okay, this setting is set to this knob. Why is it set there? Write those two things down, and then you'll learn that bit of information. And as long as you do that for maybe, say, a month, you'll be good at sound design. Like, there's not much more to it. Obviously, it's going to kind of depend on the sounds that you choose and the tutorials that you choose. They have to have some implication on psytrance if you're learning it for psytrance. If you're learning a different genre, it doesn't really make sense to learn a lot of psytrance sound design if you're making, I don't know, drum and bass, because it requires slightly different techniques, slightly different ways of manipulating the sounds. But yeah, to be honest, that is the way that I learned it. That being said, I had 8-9 years of production experience under my belt when I started that. And a lot of that experience was also sound designing, but not sound designing psytrance, I would say. It was sound designing dubstep or mainly like lead sounds for big room and house and stuff like that. It was different sound design, but still sound design that I used to do. So I already had some experience, but I felt like after a month, I was like, okay, now I'm confident in my sound design and I feel like I can make a lot more tutorials and stuff like that, because that's the reason why I did it. I wanted to learn sound design so that I could, whenever I got a request for a specific sound, I could say, okay, I will just make this sound and let me just quickly make the video, and then I'll push out the video. I no longer do those videos. I've explained why, but the main reason is I don't want to contribute to people copying other artists, and I felt like that was the only thing that people were getting from that. Just give me the sound. I don't want to learn anything. I want to have the sound and get the views that the artist is getting, because I use the same sound, therefore I get the same views. Obviously, that's not how it works, and I also don't want to contribute to a culture where we just steal ideas from other artists. I would like to contribute to a culture where people create their own unique ideas, their own unique sounds, I guess. So that's what I've been doing recently with my content. For those wondering why I no longer do those videos.
The viewer mentality versus the YouTuber mentality.
Keep making music, brother, we will be there. That's the viewer mentality. But I should probably explain what I mean there. In this part of the stream, I was complaining about how I lack the understanding of what it takes to actually make proper YouTube videos, and why sometimes I feel like some of the videos that I make, which I expect to perform well, perform very poorly, and the other way around. Like, take that kick drum video that I made recently, right? I know it's a popular topic, but it has currently 16,700 views or something like that, whereas my normal videos get 1k views maximum if they do well, maybe 1.5k sometimes. A very good video of mine usually gets 2k views, whereas this one video got 16k. I have no idea how to replicate that. I have no idea what I did. Was it just the topic being good? I don't think it is, because I made another video on how to actually make kick drums. Was it the fact that I mentioned kick 2 in there? Is that for some reason why people were more enticed to click on that video? Was the title thumbnail combination just very good? I think the video that I posted yesterday also had a very, very good thumbnail, the one on the wavetable basslines. I thought that that's my best thumbnail yet, to be honest, and I did change its title today. It does seem to be doing fairly well today. Yeah, it's actually doing very well. There's no revenue on screen, so I can actually show this. Knowing what I know now, you guys cannot see this part of the screen here. I could do it like this now. Now it should be up here somewhere. So this one is this is probably where I changed the title this morning. And you can see with the new title, which is the new way to make your bassline. I should probably maybe exclamation point this. The new way to make your bassline. I do think that this is a better title. This is actually a good title. The old title should still be in here. Yeah, wavetable basslines. Wavetable basses for psytrance explained. This isn't... So this is a good description of the video, but it's not enticing. At the end of the day, what a thumbnail and title should do is it should convince you to click on the video or to tap on the video on your phone so that you start watching the topic. It's not necessary that you are, or that I describe what is in the video. It is more important that I convince you to watch the video in the first place. What I wanted to say with the mentality, by the way, the viewer mentality is just continue making good things and good things will come. The problem is, I don't know what good things are. And that may sound a little bit strange. It may sound a little bit odd there, but good things will come. I don't necessarily know how I measure the quality of my own content, right? Because I now have a piece of content that has a lot of views, but I don't necessarily know yet why. So if I want to do that, if I want those good things to come and I want it to actually be sustainable and I want to actually, you know, grow the channel more than I'm growing now, which is the end goal, then I would need to find out how to do that.
You have to learn to clickbait.
I am a little bit scared about doing more clickbaity titles, even though right now it seems to be working. At the end of the day, the feedback that I get from you guys, it's kind of like Valve. You guys know the game company that makes also Counter-Strike? They gave a talk about map design and how a specific map, they said the players were complaining about how CT-sided the map is. So that meant that one side of the game had bigger advantage on this particular map than another side of the game. And then Valve went into their internal data for how many rounds were one for the CT side versus the T side on that particular map. And they said, like, it's 50-50, right? So the input that I get from you guys, and that's the same for me, the input that I get from you guys is that each and every one of you that I ask about clickbaity titles hates clickbaity titles. So I'm fearing to do clickbaity titles because I'm scared that if I start using a little bit more clickbait, that you guys will start to walk away from the channel and say, this is not what I'm interested in. I don't want to be baited into watching his videos. I just want to watch his videos. That being said, now that I changed the title to more clickbaity one, the video is doing better. So the data is telling me you guys actually like that. You guys actually click more or you watch more if I make the title more clickbaity. So I might experiment more with that in the future. If you're honest, they will come. Yeah, the one thing that I always keep in mind is that whenever I do clickbait somebody, I want to deliver on the bait, right? So now is the new way to make your baseline. This is actually a new way for many people to make your baseline. Not a lot of people are implementing wavetable baselines in their day-to-day production. I do know a few people. I know Mind B does wavetable stuff because he also has a wavetable package for baselines. It's on his Gumroad as well. It's just, I believe, just 10 static wavetables, so single cycle waveforms, and not tables where you can morph between settings like mine is. But still, he also has a package, so I believe he also does his baselines in wavetable. I do think it's just more beneficial, and I actually think that it is a new way of doing it. So I do believe that I'm also delivering on the promise of the clickbait, essentially. Yeah, there's clickbaity, and then there's pure clickbait where the thing you clicked for totally isn't there. Exactly. Yeah, you sometimes see that with articles where they use like celebrities and stuff like that, and they'll take like embarrassing things like leaked nudes, or they said this controversial thing or whatever, and then you go in the article and it's just not there. It is like the celebrity talked about having her nudes leaked instead of actually having her nudes leaked. It's usually a she where it happens to, right? Or instead of saying something controversial, they liked a tweet that was maybe slightly controversial and even then misinterpreted and whatever. There's a lot of people that indeed just go to a point where it's just not there, right? The content that you clicked for, it is not there. I don't think that I ever want to get to that point. I think that that's just in general a bad idea, because it may work in the short term, but it will probably not work in the long term. Put on a surprise face with your hands on your mouth and point at something. Yeah, I'm not going to do that. I am starting to use my face as a thumbnail sometimes, specifically with the Conversations for Projektor series. That is how I want to kind of distinguish that series from any tutorial. That was at least the plan on back when I posted them on the main channel. Again, for those that don't know, the videos that I'm currently editing is the Conversations with Projektor. Slightly new format in that they're going to be shorter, 20-minute videos, and they're going to be uploaded on a different channel. It will be uploaded on the Also Projektor channel that I started specifically for this and other personal videos that aren't tutorials. So this is just my normal Projektor logo, but inverted, and it looks scary. Very, very scary. It looks like some kind of ominous demon. I did brighten it up a little bit more, or darkened it a little bit more for it to work. But this is the same kind of idea as my Experimenter SoundCloud page, where it's all of the stuff that isn't necessarily purely Projektor brand, let's say. I hope that by having the Conversations with Projektor on a different channel, that they will find that my main channel will have more success because there isn't a series dragging down the videos, and that my Conversations with Projektor will find their own unique audience because they are on the Projektor channel as opposed to the main channel.
Behind the scenes of an edit.
Anyway, what I have here is Premiere Pro. This is the program that I edit videos in. I have the 8 videos that we need to make over here. It's taking a while to load for some reason. As you can see, I already did all of the cutting and the major editing work on it, I guess. So this is the last one. This still needs one done, actually. That needs editing and cutting and stuff. But the rest is all done. And what we're mainly going to be focusing on today is just finalizing these videos. because this is the initial cut, the first cut of the video. This is just me watching through the stream once and cutting out all of the bits that aren't interesting. For those that are wondering, I can show you a finalized one as well. These are longer, these videos. So these ones are, as you can see, like 50 minutes long. And I think not a lot of people watch them for that reason, mainly. Not mainly, but that's like one of the reasons why people don't watch them, is that they were too long. But this is what a finished video is going to look like. As you can see, there's a lot of assets that are in here, a lot of like text and stuff like that. And we have text-to-speech things and whatever. And I don't exactly know what this is. This is also text-to-speech kind of thing, I guess. Yeah, but there's lots of different colors and text-to-speech and whatnot. And we're just going to have to do that for here. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm just going to copy over the title card stuff, which is over here. I have not yet recorded my own voice for this. So normally what I do is I edit the whole thing first and then I record the voice depending on what I need to say. Because obviously when I start, I don't know yet what I want to say. For today, we're just going to start by putting in the intro here. This is just a little title card that sits at the beginning that shows all of the different topics that are in the video with all of the timestamps and whatnot. I'm also going to improve this over here because now we have fewer topics. I think I want to have the text a little bit bigger. What I'll do at the end of the stream is I'll discuss some of the topics in here, conversation topics. There is already one topic that somebody requested something about. You guys can add more topics to this if you want me to talk about something specific. At the end of the video, I'll just go over all of these and just discuss them so that I can put that in a future video as well. To be honest, I'm probably a little bit behind on the conversation stuff. Like I have 3-4 more streams that I could be editing. But this is the kind of editing right now that to me doesn't really yet seem beneficial because I think it won't really work well on the new channel either. To be honest, this is kind of like my passion content. I like this kind of content. First of all, I'm the kind of person that would watch this kind of content, right? The conversation stuff, just getting to know a person, just like little parts of a stream where somebody is really talking about like opinion and stuff like that, as opposed to actual a full production stream to get an idea of their actual production methods and stuff like that. So this is the kind of content that I would personally like to watch. And secondly, I like the idea that people get to know me better through this content.
How long do edits of one entire stream usually take?
It depends a little bit on, for one, the length of the stream, and two, the length of the useful clips. For these 2 streams that I have edited over here, I had 1.5 hours of video each that I could edit together into something interesting. For these ones over here, I think it was much less. I think here it was just like an hour. This is the 15-minute one. I believe there's like a 43-minute one. Yeah, here it was, I think, even less than an hour. The second thing that it's going to depend on is just my energy throughout the stream. Because if I'm very high energy and if I'm very good at explaining stuff that day and if I'm very good at talking that day, it's a lot easier because I have to do much fewer cuts. So you'll probably find that some parts here, for example, like look at this, there's many more cuts in here, in like this part over here, for example, and this part over here, than there is later on and earlier on and in different parts over here. If we zoom out, you can see there's fewer cuts here than there is over here and this stuff over here. All of that comes from the amount of energy that I have, comes from the topic that I'm talking about, comes from just, I guess, just the way that I'm speaking. So it's not, I cannot give you like a number that is just satisfactory and I would say, yeah, that is exactly how long it takes. I would say take the stream time and double it. So if a stream is 4 hours long, I'm probably taking 8 hours to edit it. But now I am getting better at the editing as well. I'm getting faster. I'm getting the workflow down more. So for example, one of the things, as you can see me do, is I just copy over different parts from here, right? And I can just use that in here. So if I need some text on the screen, I already have the text over here. In this case, this is the Reaper version because it's on the left here. So I want to have the Ableton version. Yeah, here you can see I have the text on the right. So I just have that prepared already. One of the other things that you'll notice is that in this initial cut, I have colored different clips. So I know that in this clip over here, I need to put in text. Back when I started doing this, I didn't do that. So I would need to watch the whole, I would cut the whole thing and I would put in the text as I was going. So I would do everything in one go. But now doing it twice, it's much faster already. Because now I don't have to spend time, or I can just focus on the cutting part. And then the second time around, I just focus on all of the assets and all of the text and all of that stuff. So the way that this is going to work is I'll need to find which text needs to show up here in the stream or in on the screen. And I do actually need to find that on the stream. First of all, I like to line it up. So here is the end of the text. So I'm just going to take these keyframes over here and put them there. This is just here for the mask, which is the thing that makes the background a little bit darker. You can see the difference here behind the text. It makes the text pop out a little bit more and it just makes it easier to read what is happening here. Because there's whatever is happening behind it kind of sits in the background. Because it's like blurred out and darker. I do have the streams open here. This should be the first one. Yeah, I just look at the color of the shirt that I'm wearing to see if it's the right one. And we'll see where we are. The video is very interesting the way that we did it. I believe this is very early on. So I'll look for some text that I see over here. One of the reasons why I like having my stream chat on my screen is because then from here I can see roughly where we are in the video. And I can see here somebody is talking about the beta for 12, right? So I have my stream on my third monitor here. Right now it doesn't show the chat because it clears it, but if I go like here somewhere, we should be able to match that text. Right, so this is the text that I'm looking for because that is the same text that is up here. The Kev human message. It's annoying that the chat clears if you resize the screen. Anyway, it does mean that a little bit below that there should be the text that I'm looking for. So that is the text that we have. I can then just go in here and try to align the text there and not there, here maybe. Yeah, something like that. I like to have it just look easy to read, right? Where it's not like one is very long and then there's a short one and then there's a long one. The next step that we then have to do is make sure that this mask sits around the text so that the effect of the background being blurred out and being darkened is actually encompassing the whole text. And now we have Eternal Darkness is a really great track. I like it. Should come in. Eternal Darkness is a really great track. I like the vibe and the video too, really trippy. Thanks. The video. Okay, perfect. So that's what I have to do. And now for all of the green ones, I have to put in text. And for all of the pink ones, I have to put in text plus text-to-speech recreation of the chat message, essentially. Sometimes what I have to do is, even here, I have to like capitalize different things. I just dress it up a little bit to make sure that the message is easy to read for the viewer. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter if the message is exactly the same as what people said in the actual stream. At the end of the day, when it comes to these videos, the important thing is if people can understand the flow of the video and the flow of the conversation that is happening.
So this one was a little bit more of an insight into my workflow, and I hope that you enjoyed this one. Let me know if you did by leaving a like and make sure that you're subscribed as well. And I hope to see you in the next one. Bye bye.